Right, hello and welcome to a very different type of video from my channel. So we're not going to be doing any pulling of stock, not going to be talking about any purchases I've just made. This is about 2026. Right, so Christmas just gone, New Year's Day coming up in a few days' time. This is the time of year where most people like to plan how they're going to go about their new year. This is the time of year when lots of people change how they've been doing certain things, implement new habits, and try to improve the upcoming year. So I thought, why not do a little video and have a conversation about what I'm going to do for my 2026 and how I plan to make some changes. Now, just obviously to clarify, this is my 2026. This isn't me telling you how it should be done. This isn't me telling people how they should be doing it. You know, everyone's different. Everyone's got different approaches to things. Everyone's got different stimulations. This is what works for me. So again, this isn't my instructional video. This is how you should do 2026. Find your own way. Look, you know, this is for people that might find it interesting to see how I'm doing things, and maybe it'll work for them, maybe it won't. But just want to make that clear. So before we jump into how I'm going to go about 2026, I thought maybe we should have a look at some of the things that I've done in 2025. What went well and what didn't go so well. Starting off with my business. Business went reasonably well in 2025. I can't complain, you know, it was... We restructured a lot. We opened a few new companies that have all taken off to a nice solid start. Our stores remain steady. We bought out one of the companies we were in partnership with, and we've managed to enhance that hugely. It's doing much more business than it was when we took it over. Yeah, I mean, it's business-wise, it's been a reasonable year. Obviously, not where I would like it to be, otherwise I wouldn't be looking to up the game in 2026. But then we look outside of business and life-wise, how's my life been? My life's been a bit of a funny one this year. I've lost a lot of direction. I mean, these last 2 to 3 years, I've been heavily involved in ultra running. Yeah, health and fitness has been a big part of my life, well, forever really. But these last few years, I really got into the running scene, and I trained every single day for such a long time. I do some sort of training with the odd day off here and there, but very rarely a day where I wouldn't do something. The last few months, I've barely done anything. So that's taken its toll on me a little bit. One of the goals for this year is going to be to get some ultra races booked, try to get back into the running again, and yeah, that's kind of part and parcel with how I'm planning my 2026. So I personally, I'm a strong believer that healthy body, healthy mind. I believe that, you know, the way you treat your body and fitness and your health coincides directly with how efficient you are in your work life, business life, personal life. Yeah, healthy body, healthy mind. Yeah, so you know, what I'm doing focuses this year, my changes are focusing a lot on getting back into my fitness routines and also implementing some habits and changes to the way I put stock into our stores. Getting out for a run every day, getting that mindset where you pull yourself off the sofa and you go out and you get that run in, or you get that workout in, it creates that habit mentality where, say you've got a commitment to do 30, 40, 50 listings, that becomes easier because you're putting yourself through hard things daily, and you become less lazy. And I think that's one of the traps I've fallen into, is I'm too complacent. you know, if all things are going okay, I can really easily fall into a trap of complacency where I'm like, oh, it doesn't need to be done now. I can do it later, or I can get some done next week. And, you know, I go through habits like this. This is just me and my life. I'll go through bouts of high productivity, and then I'll go through bouts of everything's okay. So, you know, we'll coast for a bit. The trouble is I've been in a coasting habit for too long, last 3 or 4 months, and I really need to snap out of it, especially if I want to make some changes in 2026. Right, anyway, enough of the waffle. Let's talk about how I'm actually going to change things. What am I going to do to change things in 2026? I'm going to use a program called 75 Hard to help me implement my changes in 2026. Well, at least for the first 75 days anyway. Now, some of you may or may not have heard of the 75 Hard program. It's very much something that you might see in the personal ways. It's in the personal development space. It's something you'll see a lot of fitness people try, but it's not predominantly a fitness program. A lot of people do throw it out there and say, oh, I've done this fitness program. But if you reference the actual guy who created the program, Andy Frisella, he will say, this is not a fitness program. In my opinion, it's a program that's made more to inconvenience you. I've done it in the past a few times, and I'll hold my hands up. I've never completed it. Been honest to myself, because you could have fibbed and, you know, fibbed your way through it, but I've never completed the program. I've failed each time I've tried it. But the times that I have tried it, I found it's put me into a very high state of productivity. And for me, that's the takeaway from it. For me, that's the benefit from the 75 Hard program. It's the level of productivity that you get from it. Now, as I said, it's a program that is designed to inconvenience you. Now, that might sound sort of not what that might sound counter-constructive. That might sound the complete opposite of what you want. If you want to be productive, you don't want to be inconvenienced. You don't want more problems in your day. However, what I found when you do the program, it puts you into such a state where you have to organize your day so efficiently that suddenly everything's switched on, and you just get more done. It's a heightened state of productivity. That's my experience doing the 75 Hard program. So a little rundown of what the 75 Hard program actually is. It is a list of challenges or tasks that you need to follow for a 75-day period. Now, and these challenges are: you need to follow a diet. You need to follow a diet for 75 days, no cheat meals. And when I say follow a diet, that doesn't mean, oh, I can just follow a diet of junk food. No, this has to be a diet that's beneficial to your health and well-being in every way. And that means no cheat meals, so you can't snack. You can't sort of like, oh, I've had a great day today, so I'm going to have this cake for dessert. No, like strictly no. You follow the diet and that's it. There's no alcohol at all over the 75-day period, which for me, I don't drink anyway, so it's an easy one for me. I'm a teetotal. There are 2 workouts in the program. 2 45-minute workouts each day. Now, one of them has to be outdoors. So no matter what happens through the day, how you plan your workouts, one of them has to be outdoors. Now, that can be going for a walk outdoors for 45 minutes. That can be dragging a piece of equipment, that can be getting a skipping rope and going outdoors and skipping for 45 minutes. Whatever it is, it has to be outdoors. The other one can be outdoors also, but no matter what, it just has to, you can do the other one indoors, that's fine. So there's 2 workouts, one outdoors, the other one indoors. they can be whatever you like. I mean, the other workout, if you like, you could do yoga. I mean, you could do yoga outdoors if you liked. In this weather, I wouldn't recommend it. But you could do a yoga session. So it doesn't have to be intensive. It doesn't have to be crazy. The goal, more than anything, it's about getting you active. It's getting you up, getting you doing something. It's stimulating your body, stimulating your mind. You know, doing some yoga, doing a circuit. You haven't got to have access to, you know, technical gym equipment. I mean, if you've got access to a gym, great. You don't have, but it's not, you know, it's not important. Point is, 2 45-minute workouts a day, 1 outdoors. Plain and simple. What else we got? Oh, a gallon of water. So that's 3.8 litres of water a day. This is a tough one for me because I drink copious amounts of tea and coffee every single day. So staying up with the amount of tea and coffee I drink and trying to fit in a gallon of water on top of that, that can be a bit tricky. The inevitable thing with that is you are backwards and forwards to the bathroom all day long. The only tip I can give for this, if you were going to try and, if you were going to attempt this, is get your water in early. Try to make as little as possible towards the end of the day, otherwise you'll be waking up to go loo through the night. One thing I will say is it really does feel great to be super hydrated. When I've done this before, the hydration actually makes you feel, I felt different. Especially in the initial stages, in the early days where I just started to super hydrate, because your body's, it's got, you know, more than all of the water it needs, and yeah, it's a good feeling. So next up, you need to read 10 pages of a book every single day. Now this has to be non-fiction. It's got to be something educational, biographical, something that you're going to be able to take something away from. This is my chosen book that I'm going to be starting with. Now, I've listened, audiobooks don't count, by the way. You can't listen to an audiobook as your book for the day. This is actually, I've listened to the audio. This is Cameron Hanes Endure. He's an American bow hunter / ultra runner, you know, all round sort of general fitness person. This book actually changed my life, and I really mean it. It actually genuinely changed the course of my life. I've listened to this book several times. I've never read the actual hard copy book, so that's what I'm going to do for my 10 pages a day on 75 Hard. I read this book 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm not a big fan of the hunt scene. That doesn't do much for me. But the way this guy lived his life, he literally lives the maximised life. The guy gets everything out of every single day. The guy lives 25 hours a day. It was an inspiration to see someone doing so much with their life every single day, and just sort of like, wow. Like, the days that you're laying around lazy on the sofa thinking, oh, I've got to get something done. No, this guy doesn't do that. He just goes out and gets everything done. And that was really inspirational to me. And off the back of that, I took up ultra running. So I read that book, and within a year, I had my first 100-kilometre ultra marathon and was on the road to getting my first 100-mile runs. And since then, I've run dozens of ultra marathons. Yeah, and it's obviously something that I'm trying to get. I want to get back into in the early part of this year. So that's my book. What else is there? You have to take a progress photo. Now this photo is photos for you. It's not something you share with other people. It's just for you to keep a reference of your own health and fitness and well-being, and sort of the way you are looking throughout the challenge. And that's I think that's it. Yeah, that's everything. So that's everything that you've got to do every single day. Now, if you make one mistake, you could be on day 59 and you have a little weakness and you eat a Mars bar. You go back to day 1. You're done. You could be on day 45. You forget to take a photograph. You're back to day 1. There is no room for making a mistake on this program. Now, if you have integrity with yourself, then you will be true to that. You know, you could fib, you could lie, but it's not, you're not doing it. You'll know, and that's the point. So if you're going to commit to this, it is a big commitment, because if you're going to try and follow it through, you have to tick every single box every single day. You get to day 74, you make a mistake, you're back to day 1. And I've seen it happen, actually. I won't go into that. I have seen that happen. Now, one of the other things that I have added into this, this is nothing to do with the 75 Hard program. And again, I just want to reiterate, this whole program and this whole approach, this isn't me telling you that, oh, you should do this if you want to do well in reselling or blah, blah, blah. This is my approach. This is what I'm doing. These are my plans for me this year. I mean, there's no reason why it might not work for whoever's on the other end watching this, but it's not my recommendation. It's just what I'm doing. Feel free to take it and have a go yourself. How am I going to implement it into my business? Well, as I said, this puts you into a state of heightened productivity. That's my experience anyway. Your productivity goes through the roof. For me, I'm going to be aiming to get 30 to 50 listings on in my stores every single day. So being in a state of productivity, I aim to be hitting that every, well, to be fair, I'd like to try and do that for the whole year. This is obviously going to help me with the first part of that year. But let's talk about habits, because obviously this is what we're trying to do, is create new habits here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing something else that it's not part of the 75 Hard program. It is something I've done before, and that is cold plunges. Now, I think it was this time last year I might have been doing it or finishing it, but I'd done 103 days of cold plunges. Now, what I'd do is I'd wake up, I'd go downstairs, and I would jump straight into a cold plunge, and that would be my wake-up call. And it was horrific. It never got any easier. It never got any nicer. For 103 days, I woke up and I went downstairs and I got in the cold dip, and it was horrible. Now, this is where I learned about the power of habit. Forming a habit that sticks can be super powerful, because there were days where I would wake up, I'd lay in the bed, it'd be 5 a.m. and I'd be like, okay, I've got to go downstairs and get in the cold tub. Now, just to clarify, I didn't actually have to wake up and do it in the morning. I could have done the cold dip anytime through the day. I was choosing to do it in the morning. But I was choosing to get it out of the way first. And I was sort of like, there were the days where I'd wake up and I'd be like, why am I doing this straight away? I haven't got to do this. I can go down and have a cup of tea. I can chill. I can rest. I can go for my run. I'll do it after my run. And I talked myself out of doing it straight away in the morning. I would get out of bed. I would grab my towel. I would walk downstairs and get straight in the cold plunge. Like, automatically, even though I just 2 minutes ago said that I wasn't going to do that. And that's the power of habit. The power of habit is you wake up and you're like, okay, just grab your towel. I'm going to do it. Even though I've already decided I'm not going to. This is what I do. This is what I do. I wake up and I go down. And, you know, after 50 days of doing it, your habits become ingrained, and they can be powerful. Once you've ingrained some habits, they can be a very powerful tool to helping you get on with what you got to do each day. They never got any easier. There was get to day 100. There was no day where I went down to that cold tub and didn't look at it and think to myself, I don't want to, this is actually not too bad. I'm used to it now. I never got used to it. It was horrible every single day. But I will say it was a fantastic wake-up call. It's a great way to wake up. It wasn't nice doing it each day. You were doing something hard to start your day, which was a good way to start winning your day. But when you got out, you did feel good. You really did feel great. You'd sort of like, you were awake. I mean, it's better than any cup of coffee, I promise you that. So that's really my sort of my plans to start implementing higher productivity in 2026. And that's what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. I'd love to hear from anyone else if they've got goals this year. I'd also like to hear how you're looking to sort of implementing them as well, because obviously we can all learn from each other. We can pick up ideas from each other in, what we're going to do, how we're going to change certain things. If we're going to change, maybe you ain't got to change a thing. Maybe you got everything right and you're doing it just how you want to, and that's brilliant. But for me, I don't think I'll ever settle. I think there's always going to be something I'm going to want to change, because every year I hope to bring more. So yeah, that is how I am hoping to bring more in 2026. I will be keeping you informed along the way for my 75 hard journey, and how I am sort of edging towards getting some races in again. I'll probably get some small races in around March. Ultras, maybe get some 50 kilometers, 60 kilometer races in. April, I hope to get back into the 100 kilometer races again. And June, there's a big 100 miler that I've done before that I'd really like to do again. So that's my race calendar. Yeah, pretty much it really. Any questions about the program, feel free to chuck them down below. I'd recommend, if you do want to know a bit more about it, just type into Google or something 75 hard program podcast. If you type the podcast in, there's a podcast by Andy Frisella where he talks about the program and he gives you all the information you need to know about it. There is an app that you can download. I think the app's like a $5. You don't have to have the app. You don't need the app. It's more of a convenience than anything. But you don't need it. You can just journal it and note it down what you're doing. Yeah. Wish me luck, because the next 75 days we're going next level. Anyway, thank you for watching. I wish you a very happy new year and a super prosperous 2026. And I will see you on the next one.